damp works. I'll put the mic on the beanie to also probably get some better sound. Maybe. Yeah, I guess that works. But yeah, the gym's closed, so I'm gonna kind of do a home leg workout and also give some instruction on how to exercise at home for some gains. Because believe it or not, I worked out at home for the majority of my life, and I was able to actually put on some decent size. I got up to, I want to say 160 from maybe like being at like 100 pounds or whatever from just working up at home. So even with the equipment I have right now, I only got most of this within the last, I want to say, 4 years. So a lot of the time it was just purely body weight. So I'll be able to go over like how to do purely body weight stuff on top of using what you do have, even if it's not incredibly heavy. But also I'm gonna do like a little jog around back here since I want to warm up and I don't necessarily have the weights where I can adjust them to warm up with. So instead, I'll warm up just by doing a little bit of cardio. And also, it's a good thing to do if you're working out at home and you're going to train legs. Like, it might sound counterintuitive. Dang, it fell. The wind is quite strong today. Also, the gym is closed because it's Thanksgiving. And I forgot it was going to close early. So that's on me. Oh, you're a little bit crooked. But it might sound counterintuitive, but if you do like some sprints, either before or even after on a leg day, that wouldn't be a bad idea at all. Go ahead and fatigue them a little bit because when you're working out at home and you're trying to train legs, almost doing cardio is unavoidable because you want to do stuff like plyometrics. You want to do exercises that challenge your legs, so you can actually either because you either have to do when you're working out body weight, you have to do a lot of reps. You have to get creative and challenging your muscles so you can fit within the 5 to 30 rep range. Otherwise, you're going to be doing reps of like 100. And there are lots of people that can do like reps of like 50 or 60 push-ups, reps of like 100 squats per set. So, and that's at that point, you're not really building muscle. So, we're going to go ahead and get started.
Artlist.io.
That was a nice little warm up. So, we can move on to starting the actual exercise, the workout. So, usually, I got another bar over here, that's what I'm grabbing. Whoa. So, usually, I've started off with deadlifts and Romanian deadlifts to be particular. And if you watch the leg days, you've probably noticed that I'm deadlifting like what? My warm up would be around like 150, and then after that, we easily get up to 200 plus. So, how are we gonna get a good workout by having what? This is 25, 25, 50, then plus by having 80 pounds or whatever the bar is. Trust me, it's still possible. Ugh. I'm gonna put it right here because it's. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Alrighty. That was a nice little warm up. So we can move on to starting the actual exercise, the workout. So usually I got another bar over here. That's what I'm grabbing. Whoa. So usually I've started off with deadlifts and Romanian deadlifts to be particular. And if you watch the leg days, you've probably noticed that I'm deadlifting like what? My warm up would be around like 150, and then after that, we easily get up to 200 plus. So, how are we gonna get a good workout by having what? This is 25, 25, 50, then plus by having 80 pounds or whatever the bar is. But trust me, it's still possible. Ugh. I'm gonna put it right here because it's. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. But let's see. I got my straps not because they're heavy, but just so my forearms aren't too involved in all this. But yeah, pretty much with the less weight you have to put yourself in a more disadvantaged position when you're lifting the weight. So instead of doing normal deadlift, what you would then do instead is Romanian deadlift. Minecraft sound effect. And if Romanian deadlift is still too easy, what you want to then do, you'd want to uh, do a single leg deadlift. So I think I'm gonna probably start off with the Romanian, and then I'll do the single leg. But that's just an idea of like, and that's how you can also do it too. When you're warming up, you start with the easier variation. So I guess I can start with deadlifts. I can also add some more weight too. I have a 15 there and 15 there to make it instead of like 80 pounds, about 100. So I can start with deadlift, do my 15, 20 reps with that, and then go to Romanian deadlift, do my 8 reps or 10 reps with that, and then single leg for my 8 reps. So I'm kind of mimicking increasing the load while also not going right into like, I'm pretty much mimicking increasing the load. That's pretty much the idea. But at the same time, you could also just start out at the hardest one and just do normal sets of that. But it's just an idea of how you can like progress. So this will show that as well. Okay, so also another thing with body weight, you can do like less rest time. And also, I think you can train it more often. I mean, it depends on how hard you go. So maybe that's training more often. That might not apply to everybody, but definitely you can maybe rest a little bit shorter. Maybe that still depends, I suppose. So yeah, I'll start off with normal deadlift to be like my first set of the warm up for my first warm up set. Okay, so that's 15. So like I said, We're gonna do RDL, and honestly, might not even have to use single leg. We'll see. But if I want to get like fewer reps, we can do single leg. Let me see if this recording's still going good. Yeah, we're chilling. But some more tips. So let's say you don't have this barbell, right? Right now what we're working out is our posterior chain. So glutes, hamstrings, all that stuff. So what you're going to have to do is a single leg bridge, or excuse me, you can do a hip thrust with the ground. So I don't know if the floor is visible on the camera. It's not. I mean, it kind of is. You can see the blue thing, so I'll just back up to there. So you can do a hip thrust. So you get on your back, and you just come up, come down, and that's that. And then to make it harder, you can elevate where your feet are, so it has a greater range of motion. So if I put my feet on something like this, I would then have to hip thrust a little bit higher, activate my glutes, my hamstrings a little bit more. And then another way to make it more hard is uh, single leg bridge, single leg glute thrust. I mean a hip thrust, whichever one. So that's an easy thing you can do. Maybe like 20 reps per leg, single leg hip thrust, and that can replace a deadlift if you don't have a deadlift bar. And even you can combine the two. Let's say you don't have 100 pounds, you only have 20. Well, you could do some of these first, get yourself a little bit tired, and then it's like a pre-exhaust. So pre-exhaust yourself with the body weight, and then go into the weight, or pre-exhaust yourself with the weight, and then go into the body weight. If you have some weight, but just not a whole lot. So I'm gonna do my RDLs now. So less than 15 reps, probably. Pull my socks up. They make nice shin guards. Oh boy. Let's do it this way. Alrighty. It's nothing crazy. Not a whole lot of reps. But I could probably go to single leg and maybe get like 5 per leg. Or I could stay here. We could try it out. We can always, instead of increasing the weight or decreasing the weight, just go back to the other variation. But yeah, again, this is only like maybe like 100 pounds. So weight always won't be the thing stopping you from getting a good workout. And again, you don't need this equipment. So in a similar way to doing single leg bridges for the glutes and hamstrings, what we can do for the quads is different squat variations. So what we can do, um, you know, start off with your maybe your normal squat, then maybe do a deep squat all the way up, and then from there you can do a sissy squat. That's probably what we'll do. 3 reps of sissy squats. Or again, you can superset these as well, or pre-exhaust sissy squat um, into whatever this, into whatever, into weighted, and then on top of that, um, you can also do plyometrics. Like I said, it's going to be hard to avoid cardio when working out at home with body weight. But doing jump squats, if you find that just a little bit harder, doing jump squats, and then doing um, jump lunges, stuff like that. Those are really good alternatives. Or instead of doing squats in general, you just forego them and use lunges instead because they hit the same muscles, but they're a little bit harder. So all weight is just more tension, more load. So be able to load up your quads greater with the lunge than you can with a squat because 80 pounds for a lunge isn't too bad. So you can just do that instead. All right, let's try this single leg variation. See how that goes. Oh, I don't do these often, so this might not even be the time to really experiment, huh? Nah, I'm gonna just do the normal RDO. It's also the balance, and I got a little bit of a height raise on my shoe. Damn. Okay, so craziest thing, when it had dropped that time, uh, it actually stopped recording, but I hadn't realized that. So I finished the workout and I came to check the video, and I realized when I pressed stop, I actually pressed play. So that means the video had already ended, and I thought I was ending it. So yeah, um, I don't know I can't remember how far I got into like explaining some things, but I kind of explained how to mimic weightlifting, you can start with easier variations then warm up into harder ones. So you're just putting tension on the muscle you're trying to train. Or what you can do is start with your harder variation of exercise so you can do the easier ones after that if you still want to get more reps. So let's say you can only do like 5 reps of dips, right? Most people say, oh, I can only do 5 dips. It's not a good exercise or a good workout. Well, right afterwards, you can just do push ups. So you crank out push ups or another exercise that'll get you to failure before you reach like 30 reps. So I think if you fail on dips, you can probably do some wide grip push ups, wide grip push ups, or some like tricep extensions. So you isolate that muscle just a little bit more and get some more fatigue there. Or you make the variation you're doing easier. So if you can only do 5 normal push ups, you do those, then you drop to your knees and do those. And if you can't do those anymore, you can even do half reps. Starting from the ground, just coming up, or starting up and just coming halfway to the ground. Like, lots of ways you can get creative with the training. I think I was able to cover a little bit talking about like single leg bridges and then like hip thrust or leg bridge, whatever you want to call it, and how that can replace these other exercises. And of course, as you get more advanced, it gets harder, but it's still possible. But yeah, that means you missed the entire adventure with the squats and everything. Man, that's kind of upsetting, but it's all good. I'm sure there'll be another leg day where I can talk about and demonstrate a lot of this stuff. So it doesn't really matter too much. I hope something was gained from the video, and hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. Say it was Thanksgiving. The gym was closed, like I mentioned. But that's about it.